"We didn't get anything for your children," my mother said quietly, pushing a little stack of paper napkins across the table, while my sister's daughters excitedly opened their $65 children's meal boxes at the big family dinner. Her husband smiled and added, "Just be thankful they got to come at all." I whispered under my breath, "Message received." When the server came back, I stood up and spoke clearly. "My name is Chris. I'm 34, the middle kid, the one everybody pings when the family chat is panicking about drop-off times and who's bringing ice. I teach 9th grade algebra in a regular public high school. I love freshly erased whiteboards, gas station coffee, and routines I can set my watch to. I have a 9-year-old son named Max and a 6-year-old daughter named Lily. Their mom and I separated 3 years ago. We co-parent like we're running a very small, very detailed company. Shared Google Calendar, every other weekend swaps, receipts saved in a folder labeled Kids' Actual Costs. My family turned "he's good with numbers" into "he's always good for covering it." My older sister, Jen, is the golden child. She has 2 little girls, a spotless white SUV, and an Instagram feed where every photo ends with the word blessed. Her husband, Trevor, sells cloud software for a company that gives out quarter zips as bonuses. Mom drifts between handing out recipes and handing out guilt, depending on the hour. Dad watches games on mute and mutters, "Let's not do this here." I'm not loud. I like things that balance. I like when a large pizza is cut into 8 even slices and everyone takes exactly 2. I like receipts that tell the truth. That's why I got really good at living lean. I know the price of a gallon of milk to the penny and the exact window when the apartment laundry room is empty. The kids and I do pancakes every Sunday and turn them into word problems. If Dad can flip 4 pancakes every 90 seconds, how long until Lily sneaks half the chocolate chips straight from the bag? Family reunions used to be at my grandparents' old house. Red and white checked plastic tablecloths, deviled eggs, somebody's aunt crying by the mailbox. This year Mom reserved a proper restaurant because Grandpa's knees gave out and because she wanted photos where we all look quietly wealthy. The invitation came with a PDF schedule: arrive 5:45, group picture 6:10, seating 6:30, dessert 7:20. Dress code: smart casual. Children welcome. There was a note about family-style platters to avoid over-ordering, followed by a winking face. I dressed like a teacher who's pretending he doesn't own 12 of the same shirt. Max wore his favorite T-Rex shirt under a navy sweater because the sweater is camouflage, and Lily insisted on her glitter sneakers because fancy places love glitter. We packed crayons, a Ziploc of apple slices, and the quiet hope there would at least be bread. We arrived early because being late makes my eye twitch. The restaurant had crisp linens and servers who balanced 4 plates on one arm like it was nothing. Mom spotted us and waved like she was unveiling a new car. "There's my handsome boy," she said, kissing somewhere near my ear. Very professorial. Jen arrived fashionably late. Daughters in giant satin bows. Trevor trailing with the relaxed grin of a man who's never pumped his own gas. He slapped my back. "Dr. Chris." "Mr. is fine," I said. The server gave the spiel. Shared starters, curated mains, special children's boxes with pasta, fruit, tiny dessert, and an activity pack. He looked proud of the menu. I liked him immediately. While he spoke, Mom slid a neat fan of napkins in front of Max and Lily. "We didn't order for your 2, she said softly, as if sparing me an expense. "They can pick from the big plates. We don't want them filling up on extras." "They're not both boys," I corrected automatically. "One of them is Lily." Mom waved it away. "You know what I meant." Jen stage whispered to her daughters, "Big surprise coming." The girls squealed. Trevor did a little tabletop drum roll. The server returned carrying 2 adorable cardboard cottages. 2 children's meals, 65 each, he announced, setting them in front of Jen's girls. He turned to me politely. "Shall I bring 2 more?" Before I could answer, Mom's hand floated up like a crossing guard. "No thank you," she told him. "We'll all share." "We're a sharing family," Trevor added, eyes on his phone. "Be glad they got seats." Heat crawled up my neck. Max tugged my sleeve. "Daddy, can we eat the napkins?" "Not quite, buddy." The table erupted into the usual overlapping stories. Servers glided in with salads, warm bread, steaming platters. My kids reached politely, remembered manners, turned the paper table mat into an elaborate racetrack. Jen's girls unpacked truffles and macarons like it was Christmas morning. Everyone acted like this was perfectly normal. The moment that actually broke me wasn't the napkins. It wasn't even the "be grateful" line. It was when Mom caught the server's eye as he approached with the leather check folder and tilted her head toward me the way you point out the trash can to a guest. "Chris will take care of it," she said brightly. "He's our finance guy." The server looked at me. I looked at my children. Something inside me shifted from someday to right now. I didn't jump up dramatically. I simply placed my hand flat on the table and felt the cool wood. I whispered, mostly to myself, "Copy that." And when the server came back, I was ready to say the sentence I'd rehearsed in my head for 10 years. I didn't plan to become the family ATM. It happened the way mold grows, one forgotten spill at a time. When I was 15, Mom asked if I could spot Jen $40 for homecoming. "Because you're so responsible with your lawn mowing money, you'll get it back payday." Payday became "you know what family means," and I learned not to bring it up again. At 17, I tutored neighborhood kids for 20 an hour cash. Mom told everyone Jen was so sweet helping teens with prom makeup. I quietly handed Jen the cash when she cried that the bar wouldn't let her run a tab. I told myself I was the good brother. By 22, I was student teaching, driving a car that sounded like marbles in a blender, working nights at a bookstore. Jen called from the mall in tears. Emergency. I pictured blood. It was a $280 diaper bag for a baby shower gift. "We'll go halves and say it's from both of us." I paid. She posted the bag with my little "find adulting is hard." I married young to a woman who loved me, but not spreadsheets. When Max arrived, Mom showed up with grocery bags and told the relatives she was keeping us fed. The receipt on my counter told a different story. Jen had her first baby 6 months later. The entire family solar system rearranged its orbit around that child. I didn't mind the baby. I minded being the invisible moon that only gets noticed when someone needs a ride to the airport. I kept waiting for the universe to balance the books because I believed in numbers. Here's the list I swore I'd never make and then made at 2 a.m. 11 airport pickups in 1 calendar year because you're already awake for school anyway. For last-minute dog-sitting weekends because dogs aren't allowed at Napa. $260 for a fundraiser table Jen didn't want to ask her real friends for. $520 in camp snacks that turned out to be boutique applesauce pouches with names like Serene and Luminous. The requests got smoother, harder to refuse. You're already at Target. You don't mind grabbing it. You like taking care of people. Divorce made me an even softer mark. Single dads are assumed to be either desperate or permanently indebted for every scrap of inclusion. I spoke less at gatherings, kept the kids close, stretched ground beef with extra onions, renamed it Taco Tuesday Surprise so it felt intentional. Then Trevor entered the picture speaking fluent corporate. The first time I asked him to watch Max for 45 minutes while I fixed a broken smartboard at school, he said sure. Then Venmo requested me $40 the next morning with the memo time equals money handshake. Mom said, "He's teaching you to value yourself." I said, "Family doesn't send invoices." She sighed, "You're so literal, Christopher." When the reunion invitation dropped, I noticed every word. Adults $70, children $65. But let's keep it simple, family style plus wink. Mom added, "We'll get the girls the kids' boxes because they're picky." Then almost as an afterthought, "Chris, maybe pack some coloring books for yours." I asked if I should reserve boxes for Max and Lily too. She replied, "Let's play it by ear. Hate to waste money." A week before the dinner, Trevor sent a polite reminder for $18.72 labeled apps from last cookout. The cookout had been at my parents' house, and the apps were 2 jars of salsa I bought at Costco. I didn't pay it. I also didn't argue. I told myself I would draw the line at the restaurant. Quiet. Adult. One calm sentence. The little humiliations kept coming. Max asked why his cousins sometimes get restaurant presents, and he doesn't. I said we do family style. He said, "Is family style when you share everything but nobody shares with you?" Lily asked if napkins count as bread. I laughed so I wouldn't scream. The night of the dinner, I packed our survival kit like we were going on a polar expedition. Apple slices, crayons, stickers, emergency granola bars that taste like cardboard but prevent nuclear meltdowns. I told myself, one sentence, that's all. We walked in. Napkins arrived. Be grateful was spoken. Cardboard cottages were unveiled. Then Mom volunteered me for the whole check like it was a favor. My chest clicked into focus. When the server returned, I stood, just enough to be heard without shouting. "Could you please split the bill exactly by what each group was served?" He blinked once, then smiled like I'd handed him a winning lottery ticket. Of course, sir. Mom's laugh came out too loud. Christopher, honey, we always do one check. Aunt Karen piped up, we trust you with the math. Trevor leaned back, arms spread across two chairs. Bro, come on, don't be that guy. I gestured gently toward the kids' boxes. Those 2 meals went to that side of the table, I said. My children shared from the platters like everyone else. We'll pay for what we actually ate. Jen's smile went razor thin. Chris, this is embarrassing. It's accurate, I answered. Mom tried again, voice sugary. This family does not split checks. This family has been splitting everything in my direction for 15 years, I said, perfectly calm. I'm finished. The server offered. I'm happy to itemize. Please do, I said. Don't you dare, Mom hissed at him, still smiling for the room. He looked at me, saw something steady, and chose correctly. Be right back, he said. A thick silence settled like dust after an explosion. Jen whispered to Trevor, he's making a scene over children's pasta. Trevor shrugged. Last month we watched your kid for an hour. Did I bill you? Wait. Yes, I did. But it all evens out. You billed me for watching your own nephew, I said, and then drank my last Mountain Dew. A couple cousins snorted into their wine. Mom tried the trump card again. Chris, be grateful you were even invited. Stop saying that, I said, looking straight at her. I'm your son, not a +1. The server returned with 3 separate folders and placed them like he was defusing bombs. One in front of my parents, one in front of Jen and Trevor, one in front of me. Based on what I personally delivered, he said quietly. 2 children's boxes to this end. Everything else divided accordingly. Happy to adjust. Jen opened hers and gasped. $198? For pasta? Trevor muttered. It literally says kids package twice, babe. Mom stared at hers. $224. And whispered, we barely touched anything. I opened mine. $39 before tip. 2 lemonades. 1 adult entree we all picked at. 1 side of broccoli barely anyone ate. I slipped my card in and closed it. Mom's voice went sharp. Put that away right now. No, I said. You're humiliating me, she said. I'm not the one who's embarrassed, I answered. I'm just fixing incorrect math. The server took my card first, gave me the tiniest nod of solidarity, then collected the others. Jen's hand shook as she inserted hers. Trevor tossed his in like he was slamming a poker chip. Mom still hadn't moved. Your father and I. You'll pay for what you ordered, I said. Same as everyone. She stared. I didn't look away. I love you, Mom. I also love my children. Sometimes that means saying no to you. Max whispered, did we do a bad thing? No, little man, I said. We did an honest thing. Nobody felt like cake after that. The scheduled group photo never happened. People grabbed coats like fire alarms had gone off. I signed receipt, tipped the server 25% because he'd carried more than food tonight, and helped the kids with their jackets. Going forward, I said to the table, I pay for exactly what I and my children consume. Nothing more. Mom opened her mouth, closed it, scanned the room for a photographer who wasn't there. We walked out into cool night air that smelled like freedom and someone else's creme brulee. My phone immediately blew up. Jen, you mortified me in front of my children. Mom, call me immediately. Trevor, not cool bro, real mature. Aunt Karen, I think you overreacted but we still love you. I flipped it face down in the console. Chocolate or vanilla milkshakes? Chocolate, they shouted in unison. We hit the drive-thru with the giant glowing cone, ordered 3 larges, and declared it National We Survived Fancy Restaurant Day. They toasted with paper cups all the way home. That night, after baths and stories and 2 extra pages of the bunny book, I opened the family chat. Messages poured in like angry bees. I typed, erased, typed, erased. Finally, new rule from me. No more group tabs, no more, we'll figure it later, no more babysitting invoices. I will happily pay for exactly what my kids and I eat or use. Real emergencies only. Anything else, please budget accordingly. I hit send, turned on Do Not Disturb, and wrote a post-it in Sharpie. You are allowed to stop. Stuck it to my laptop because I'm that guy. Next morning the kids demolished cereal and half a banana each. I dropped them at school and daycare, waved to the guard, felt something loosen in my shoulders. At 10:12 Mom called. I let it ring. She called again. 3rd time, she left voicemail that sounded rehearsed in the driveway. Christopher, full name, so I knew I was cooked. I have no idea what's gotten into you. You made me look cheap in front of everyone. Your sister is crying. Trevor is offended. Be the bigger person, apologize, and I'll forgive you. I listened twice and noticed she was offering to forgive me for asking to pay my share. I deleted it. At lunch, I reheated chili in the faculty room and didn't check my phone. I checked anyway. Jen had posted her girls in matching pajamas, protecting their peace. Trevor posted a gif of a wallet snapping shut. Boundary Street runs both ways. I muted them. It felt delicious. After school, I graded papers while Lily built a couch cushion castle, and Max asked if decimals are just fractions that got flattened. We high-fived over yes. Doorbell. Mom on the step holding a tin like a white flag. Can we start over? Lasagna Saturday? No thank you, I said. Her eyes narrowed. Don't be childish. I'm not, I said. I'm choosing. She played the nostalgia card. Who paid for your orthodontics? Who drove you to SAT prep? You were my parents, I said. That wasn't a loan with lifetime interest. She tried softer. Jen has so much on her plate. So do I said. 2 kids, 1 income, public school salary. She held out the tin. Take these to Jen, then. She loves being appreciated, I said. Her mouth pinched. Be grateful you were invited. Please stop saying that, I said. I'm your son. She set the tin on the mat like abandoned luggage and left. I moved it to the freezer at midnight because anger cookies still taste like chocolate chip. The week tested me gently. Aunt Karen texted, Uncle can't connect to the Wi-Fi. Dinner if you come fix? I replied, $90 per hour house calls smiling face with smiling eyes then. Kidding. But actually no, sorry. Jen emailed an actual PDF invoice titled babysitting. Family discount with line items I'd never agreed to, including one for watching Max while I supposedly got a haircut. He'd been in the barber chair with me asking about clipper guards. I wrote back one word, no. I opened a new savings bucket labeled for the kids only and moved $100 every payday. Not life-changing, just enough to feel like I was writing my own bill. I signed the kids up for Saturday rec center camp on my weekends, $35 each. They came home smelling like dodgeballs and joy. Mom sent photos of the lasagna no one ate. We missed you guys, not the same without your big appetites. I noticed the photo showed my grandmother's giant blue mixing bowls in the background. The one she gave me last Christmas and Mom had kept safe ever since. I texted, please drop Grandma's bowls by when you're in the neighborhood. She replied thumbs up. No words. Thursday Grandpa called. You holding up? Better than ever, I said. Good, he said. Your grandma says you did the right thing with that waiter. I laughed out loud in the parking lot. Friday the kids voted breakfast for dinner. We made pancakes, measured carefully, turned fractions into chocolate chip art. Max poured an infinity symbol and yelled infinite pancakes. We ate at the table with the fancy paper napkins I'd bought on clearance 5 years ago and saved for special occasions. Tonight felt special. The group chat went from boiling to lukewarm to almost polite. For the first time, people asked if I was coming instead of assuming. I said no a lot. I said yes to things that didn't require me to open my wallet for 10. One morning, a brown paper package sat on my doorstep, no card. Inside, wrapped in the familiar crinkly tissue that smells like Mom's cinnamon drawer, were Grandma's blue bowls. I washed them, filled one to the brim with popcorn, and we watched a movie on the couch like rich people. Not everything was smooth. Jen sent a 1 a.m. text. Are we okay? I typed a novel, deleted it, typed. We can be, if you stop treating me like a subscription service. She answered wow. I left it there. Next morning, I drove the kids to school thinking how strange it is that the sky doesn't fall when you finally speak up. I'd spent years bracing for lightning. Mostly it was just a loud group chat and some side eye at a table I no longer have to pay for. That Saturday, we hit the library. Max got a book on Beatles. Lily picked one about a rabbit who learns to say no. At bedtime, she asked, is no a bad word? It's a true word, I said. It clears space for the yes you actually want. She considered this, nodded, and fell asleep hugging the book like it was made of candy. And just like that, the math finally added up.